Hey everybody, it's Ron, and today I'm going to be talking about Superman Year One by Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. This is under DC's new Black Label imprint. This is their new imprint that deals with, I guess, Elseworld stories like Batman White Knight by Sean Gordon Murphy, which was great, and Batman Damned by, I think it's Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo. I haven't read that one, but it got a lot of media attention for showing Batman's junk, so I don't know. Who knows how good that is. We all know what just recently happened to the Vertigo line, and don't even get me started on that. But it seems like this imprint is for creators who want to tell a more mature miniseries, and Superman Year One is the next title here. Alright, so let's get into it. Okay, first of all, I know you kind of have to start on Krypton and everything, but I don't know how many times I can keep reading a different variation of this origin. And I'd say the same about that for any superhero, not just Superman. Now, I will say that this one got to the point pretty quickly, but I don't know, I think I'm just really sick of seeing it. I like the way it was done in John Byrne's Man of Steel, because it gave Krypton a unique look, and you got to see what society was like there before it was destroyed. I also like the way Grant Morrison did the origin in just a couple well-done panels in All-Star Superman. So I'd suggest going back and reading those if you haven't. So was this book terrible? No, I don't think it was, but it was surprisingly by the numbers for Frank Miller, who usually likes to shake things up a little bit and be controversial, especially in his later work. The biggest problem I have with it is John Romita Jr.'s art. I used to really like his art, even in the beginning of Kick-Ass, but something about his recent work just feels rushed to me. It's definitely a weird style, and a lot of the people he draws just look so weird that it turns me off a little bit. Especially some of the hands in this book looked very strange to me. I'm also a big Frank Miller fan, but even I have to admit that he's not as good as he once was. Now, this isn't all-star Batman levels of weirdness, and that's good too. Even though I've read this origin story a bunch of times, I'm glad he dialed it back a little bit, even if the story is subpar. We do get some of the same lessons from other Superman books and movies that just because he has this power to stop, bullies and people and criminals, he should only use it for good and try to be a better person. Some of the dialogue was also pretty wacky, and Martha and Jonathan have a really off-kilter way of talking to each other and Clark, which threw me off a bit. I don't know if that's just me. I guess Frank was trying to write them in an authentic Southern manner, but I'm not sure. Clark's romance with Lana seemed a little forced, and I never got a sense of why they care so much about each other than Clark saving her from some bullies. It just kind of seemed like they were trying to get this stuff out of the way as quick as possible so they could get him in the suit, and I'm all for that. But it looks like they're going to take a few turns before they get there. At the end of this issue, Clark joins the Navy, which could be interesting, and I'm glad they're not going the safe route and having Clark travel to Metropolis right away. So yeah, I don't know what to make of this. I'd say I'm mildly interested in reading the next issue, but I don't know. The art is just not my thing anymore, and to be honest, I haven't been reading new comics since the beginning of Rebirth. Aside from a few things like White Knight, there hasn't been anything that has really caught my eye recently, so I'm not sure if I'm even going to review the next issue of this series. But let me know in the comments, would you guys like new comic reviews, or should I just keep talking about older comics and analyzing that stuff instead? Maybe I'll do a little bit of both. Anyway, be sure to like and subscribe if you're digging the content, and thanks for watching.